Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Steve. Today I am going to share with you my February card pickups. So last month in January, I shared that I was not very active. I was trying to be a little more disciplined. February, that changed. I was very active this month in buying cards. I think I shared with you guys, I had the 110 cards that I wanted to try to help guide me. Well, I did pick up some of those, but I also strayed a bit, which I'm okay with because, a part of what I enjoy about this whole hobby is, just seeing a card and having it call out to you. But I would have probably shared these cards in a couple of videos. It just got really busy. This month of February was fast paced. So I got a lot of cards to go through. I've probably got 20 or 21 cards, plus a contest win from John over at 3D 80s Kid that I want to share with you guys. So let's jump into this thing. I'll try to make it as short as possible. Let me flip this camera. Hey YouTube, before I show you the cards, I just actually finished the video of showing you the cards, and at the very end, I said it delayed my next PSA submission, and we all know I don't submit to PSA, I submit to SGC. I just had a little brain fart. So I didn't want to re-edit the whole video because I kind of like the way it turned out, so I thought I'd edit it up front. Now we're gonna flip this camera and look at the cards. So thanks for being patient. Okay, so the first card I want to share is my contest win from John over at 3D 80s Kid. When you do a VR, you're really doing it to support the other channel, and if you happen to win, it's just like icing on the cake, but it's not the intent. But I did get lucky with John's contest, and he sent me a fantastic card. Before I share those cards, and John, first of all, I apologize. These came a couple weeks ago. I just have not had a chance to make the video, but thank you so much. Pretty excited here. First, John sent me this autographed John 3D 80s Kid card, which I just absolutely love. I have a few cards from fellow collectors, starting to put them together. I know I have like a Sammy Thunder card, and I have a Dylan card, and this one's going to go in with it, John. This is a really cool card, so thank you. And John also sent this fantastic 4 collectors card, which maybe I'll get a chance to get this one autographed someday. You've got Pepino Man up there in the right hand corner, and Sammy Thunder down below, and then you've got Theo, Clemente Collector, and John of 3D 80s Kid. They have some fantastic content, so thank you, John. The card that I won for John was this 1972 Dead Williams card and a SGC, and this is just a beautiful card. I was really excited for this. I have his 69 and 71 cards. I don't have them graded, manager cards, and I also have his I'd like to get his 70 card. I think I'd like to put a run together, but this is a cool card. This is his last of his managerial cards. This was the year they moved to Texas, so you can see he's got an airbrushed hat on because they were the Washington Senators before. But this is a beauty, John, and I'm really excited to have this one added to the collection. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And then for Valentine's, last year my wife gave me the 65 Aaron that I had graded, and it turned out to be a 6. Well, this year she gave me this 1969 Henry Aaron, which she had a little help. I helped her pick it out. But at the end of the day, I've been looking for this Aaron for a while, and this one I think is a really nice copy. The price was, great. It's in a Beckett case, which, I prefer SGC, but I've got cards in all cases, so whether I keep this here or eventually transition it over, I'm not sure, but this is a hard card for me to find. This one reminds me a lot of my childhood. I have a version of this from my childhood, but it's pretty beat up, but this is one of those 110 cards I wanted to collect, so that was my Valentine's Day present this month. And then our friend Double D, Dylan, he had a Whatnot sale, which was a bunch of fun. And I got some cards, bought some cards from Dylan. And then, Dylan threw in this card that Scott over at Reindeer Studios made for him, and this is sweet, sweet. So Dylan, this one's also going to go with your other card that I have of yours into my content creators set. So Dylan, his whatnot was, ooh, I almost knocked over some water there, guys. His whatnot sale was the 60s or the 70s this time, and you know, I had a lot of the cards, but there were a few that caught my eye. One of them is this 1972 Boog Powell, which is just a beautiful card. I think I got this for $2. This was it was amazingly fun. You know, Dylan is a bundle of energy, and you're on there, and there's other content creators, you know, like Mookie from Mookie Chilson, or Matt from The Card Story, just to name a few that were on, and we were you know, chatting and buying cards, and love this card. The other thing that's really cool is you've got the Dylan grading. So Dylan says this is a 5. You know, Dylan, I think low end this is a 5, but picked up that card. This one I think I picked up for $3. I think I spent like $45, $43 total with Dylan. This is a really cool card. It's a stolen base 72. So you've got Campy Campaneris, who was a great ball player in his own right, and then you've got the great Lou Brock, and you know, I love leader cards. I love seeing how, you know, how well the league did. I usually get multiple star players. Dylan had this one rated in a 7, so love that card. This is a card I already had, but I think this is a little nicer version. It's the 1972 Joe Morgan. Dylan has it rated a 6. I think I picked it up for $6. I mean, it was a fantastic deal. Can't wait for you to do another Whatnot, Dylan. I will definitely be on. Here's another card that I already had, but I couldn't pass on it, right? I have a Steve Garvey rookie graded in a 6.5. Dylan says his is a 5. You know, yeah, I think it's a 5, potentially a 6, Dylan. This is really a sharp-looking card. You know, Steve Garvey is, you know, after Aaron and Clemente, he's my third favorite player of all time as a kid growing up. So I saw this card, I want to say $21 maybe, and I'm not going to pass on a Steve Garvey rookie card in that shape. So stoked to have this one, Dylan. And this last card, when he was sharing what he was going to put up for auction, this was the one card I wanted, and I wanted it the most. And it's this 1971 League Leaders card. And, you know, as I said earlier, Dylan and I both share a love for League Leaders, but I mean, look at this. You got 2 Hall of Famers. You got Lee May, who was a great ball player in his own right, big power hitter. He was the one, you know, actually, I think this was the year that the 2 key trades, you know, the Astros traded Morgan to the Reds for, there were multiple players, but the 2 big names were Lee May on the far right here and Joe Morgan on the left. And, you know, at the time, a lot of people thought the Astros got the better, or I'm sorry, the Astros got the better of that deal. You know, in history turned out, you know, the big red machine took off from there. But I've got this. I've got my Henry Aaron. This one I love, Dylan. Dylan says it's a 7. I would agree. I think this is a 7. And this one for sure is going to go in to SGC in the near future, and we'll see. We'll compare their grading talent to yours, Dylan. So I was excited to pick those up. My wife and I were up in Michigan at our vacation place doing some work, and we decided to take a drive, and I ran into a sports card shop, and I picked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 cards for a grand total of $200, and I wanted to share those with you. The first one I picked up was this 1958 Louis Aparicio, and this is in absolutely beautiful shape. This card's cool. I don't own a lot of Aparicio cards, so I was excited. I love the way these all-star cards look from 58. So picked up the Louis Aparicio. I also picked up this Billy Cannon rookie card, and I've seen this card, I think, on both Terry and Chris's channels. This is a really, really cool card. It's in beautiful shape, and it's his rookie card, and it was cheap. So I picked up the Billy Cannon rookie card. This card I was really excited to pick up. This is a 1970 Lou Brock, and the 69, 70, 71, really all the way through 75. But those 3 years were the main years I've collected as a kid. And I've been on eBay and I've been looking at this card in a graded form, and it's just something about it that I like. It calls to me. And then I saw this one, and I think that this one will grade in the 5 to 6 range, and that was what I was looking for on eBay. And with the grading fees, I think I'll come out cheaper buying it ungraded and sending it in. But I was really excited to add this one to the collection. These next couple cards really called out to me. One was this Elston Howard card. I don't own a lot of Elston Howards, but I mean, just look at this card. Look how beautiful this card is. Like, it's very well centered. The coloring's fantastic. I saw it and I couldn't pass on it. It just called to me. So I picked that one up. And the same with this 54 Jim Gilliam, Junior Gilliam. Junior was a great ball player. I think, he gets forgotten on some of those great Dodger teams. I love the 54 set. Actually, of the 110 cards I wanted to pick up, there were two. I wanted to pick up one of 2 Junior Gilliams, and this is one of them. So when I saw this, especially in this condition, I jumped all over it. This is another one that's on that list, and this is a Veda Pinson rookie card. And, the coloring on this card is pretty sharp. Centering's off left to right. But, this is not a cheap card for a non-Hall of Famer, although I think Veda Pinson deserves a good look at the Hall of Fame. He was a great ball player. But anyway, I picked up the Veda Pinson rookie card. Excited to add that one. Here's a card I've been looking for a while, and I didn't want to spend a ton of money, and it's this Willie Mays, 73 Willie Mays. And, this one's in pretty good shape. It's not perfect, but, price-wise, these can get pretty pricey, and this one will, I'll get it graded eventually, and it will be sufficient for my collection. So I was happy to add that one. And then here's a card that I already owned, but it just wasn't in this good a shape. So my plan is the one I already own, I'm going to sell, and I'm going to hang on to this Billy Williams, because this, although it does have a little bit of a staining there, but so does the one I own. But this is just a beautiful, beautiful card. I'm a big Billy Williams fan, so I think he's an underrated ball player. I think he probably should have won an MVP. He lost a bench twice. I think one of those years you could probably argue that he may have had the better year. But love Billy Williams. And then just recently, yesterday, I went to my LCS, and that was a mistake because I can never walk out of there without buying any cards. The first card I picked up from my LCS is this Bob Gibson, and this is like the Brock. It just called out to me. As a matter of fact, this card, and this isn't my favorite Gibson card, but what it does remind me of is I remember opening packs with my best friend Mike at the time, and Mike pulling this card, and he was totally excited to get a Gibson, so which I had never owned. So grabbing this Gibson, and this was cheap. I want to say it was $15. These cards here, I paid more for these. I think I paid close to $275 for all of these cards, and it may have paid more than I should have, but here is the 68 Clemente, and I own this one also. I own it. I got it graded. I think it came back in the 3 to 4 range, and I thought this one was nicer. So I repurchased it. I'm hoping this is the upgrade, which means that I'm going to, eventually grade it, and then I will eventually sell one of them, I'm sure. Here's a card like the 73 Maze. The 69 Maze is one I've been looking for a while, and this one was priced well. This, once again, can be pretty expensive. It's not in the best condition. It's got a little bit of nicking up there. But once again, you know, and the back's got a little bit of staining on it. So this is, you know, it's not an excellent card, but for me, it works. I think it's well centered. I like the picture. It was within the price range I wanted to spend for the Willie Mays. And so pick that one up. I saw this and I just couldn't pass on it. And it's a 1962 Don Drysdale, and it's in great shape. You know, without even trying, I'm kind of doing a mini Drysdale run. I have his rookie card, and now I think I've got like 61, 62, 63, 64, something like that. So I'm slowly but surely making a Drysdale run. This, you know, is in good shape. So this card was the next one I picked up. Here's another one that's on my list, and it's the 62 Koufax. You know, this one's not perfect. It's got, you know, a little bit of nicking up there. But, you know, I'm looking at the same card online, and, you know, the prices are still fairly high compared to what I would pay for this and then get it graded. So, you know, I took a chance and grabbed this Koufax. I'm pretty excited about this card. You know, I'm a big Koufax fan, and slowly but surely trying to get as many of his cards as I can. I got two more cards to share with you. This is another card that was on my list, and it's the Jerry West. I think this is what, the 1970 Jerry West, or yeah, 1970 Jerry West card. You know, West is he was my favorite player as a kid. He's one of my all-time favorite. This one's on the list of the 110, and I you know, I've been looking at it on eBay, and you know, the prices are fairly reasonable, but this one I think is in pretty good shape, and I think when I grade it, I think at the end I'm going to end up being cheaper to do it that route. So I picked up this beautiful Jerry West. And then one more card I picked up on eBay that I couldn't resist. So a while back I saw my friend Theo over at Clemente Collector picked up the 71 Clemente O-Pee-Chee, which got me thinking that I should get a Henry Aaron O-Pee-Chee, which I did. I picked up this 71 Henry Aaron O-Pee-Chee. It's graded 4.5 by ACA. So I don't know a lot about ACA. My understanding is they're a Canadian or a Montreal-based grading company. You know, from what I've read, they're fairly, they do a fairly tough graders, comparable to PSA. You know, I would say if I looked at this card, if I crack this card and send it into like SGC, I'm thinking it's in the 4 to 4.5 range. So I don't know it's that the grade is that far off, but because it was in this ACA, the price was very reasonable. You know, I love the back of these cards. And this was one of the cards I had on my list. I did want to add a Henry Aaron O-Pee-Chee to the collection, and I did. So anyway, that's it. That's all the cards I bought in February. I kind of broke the bank. So, and I leaned into a bit of March's funds. So I'm probably going to back up a little bit. It's probably pushed out my next PSA submission a few weeks, but I do plan on sending some stuff into PSA, so we should have one of those videos coming relatively soon. I appreciate you guys for sticking with me so long. I know this was a long video. Until we talk again, stay safe, keep collecting. Take care.